What's up guys, welcome back to a new video on the Alien Algo channel. Today we'll be getting into a more educational video. This is a very simple way to analyze the charts based on candlesticks. So I will simply start with the 1 month, and people are going to see the strategy, like how I map out this chart, and people are gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Until you do it yourself, and then you find out this shit actually works. So what we are going to start with, we are going to start at the monthly time frame. Currently this is the month we are trading in, and we are going to look at the previous candle because we use this candle to expect what could happen here. So for this candle we will be using this. So how do we do this? It's gonna look so straightforward that most of you are going to think this is too simple to work, but it actually works. So let me just get a line there, and I will explain the colors in a bit. I will start with the color blue, like right now, where we see what I have done. I select the body of the candle and the wick of the candle. So here you see we map out both of these. Okay, and we find the next point, which we will be doing by zooming in. So remember, you go onto the 1 month, you take the high, you take the body low, and you take the wick low. So now that we have mapped out these, let's put a vertical line right here, knowing that this is the start. And we will first get into the weekly. So here we already see what happened. This is the week where the monthly opened. So this is the price action that we were using and we were given by that monthly candle, which of course partially closed here and partially closed there. So if we do this to the exact, you see it right here. This was the open of that month. When we look at it like this, right here, you see how these levels are getting respected. So what do? We take the blue levels. I have no clue why there's a little line. Okay, so we take those blue levels and we see those as the monthly levels. Then we take the recent weekly candle. So what is the recent weekly candle? This is the new candle, so this is the past weekly candle. What do we do here? The exact same, but now we do it with different colors. So we can quite clearly see what level comes from where and what time frame it is based around. And now again, what will I do? I put a vertical line here to visualize the start of these points. So this is the week of the 9th. Now let's go on to the daily. We already see what pretty much happened around here. You see how it is moving, broke below, retested it, and now we are starting to trade into this again. So what do I want to explain with this concept? Because it's quite literally analyzing the candlestick on a day-to-day basis. So how can we approach this? I'll give the example right here, because here price already played out. So what we'll be doing again, get the color blue, and I will only extend them until that monthly candle, where I'll be doing this and this. So we take these levels and we take this again. Now let's go into the weekly and see what happened during this. Because now you can quite literally see this was the wick of the month, this was the body of the month, this was the lower body of the month, and it was the lower wick of the month. What do we see here on that next weekly, on that next monthly, which of course started right here. So let's go on to the daily to illustrate it a bit better. You see here the month started. So what really happened at the start of the month? You've gotten a break and retest and hold of that previous monthly high. And this logic, I'm now showing it on a 1 month basis. But here comes the interesting thing. This same shit works on the daily. So now let's remove everything and just get into the daily, where we see this is our current daily candle. So what we would be doing again, get these, yeah, these right here. And then we go onto a lower time frame. And we have to see where the daily close has been, which is right there. And we clearly again see how first this level was holding. We broke below it, we retested it, and we've gotten a move towards the downside. Because how do people analyze candlesticks? It's quite simple. You look at the body and you look at the wick. If it engulfs it, meaning like right here, you have one candle, which was green. Let's say this candle right here wouldn't have been green, but it would have been red, meaning the body of the candle would have been here. Well, I am not allowed to draw it like that. So it would have been like this instead, where we do this move towards the downside instead of towards the upside. Now, well, based upon this little part. So I'll explain it using the levels again. Quite literally see what really happened onto the early hours of that next day. We need to use the magnet for this again to make it a little bit faster. Right there. And this one right here. Because in this case, we closed above the high of the previous candle. So this is also where we opened. And where do you want to buy in a candlestick? You want to buy below this little part. This is simply where you want to buy. If your bias is up. If your bias is down, where do you want to sell? Right here. Above that body. So now, I didn't draw this for the fun of it, because here we've gotten the move towards the upside instead, where the next day you see we still have clearly bullish movement. So based on the close of this one, of this candle, in relation to this, we could have assumed that this would most likely be a green day, which it actually was. But now let's say this candle, instead of getting engulfed in a bullish form, let's say it would have been engulfed in a bearish form, meaning that the body would have closed below this point then I mean, and the wick will be around here. Now we would more expect it to go down. So let's get another example, because this is simply how you can analyze candlesticks, but I just dumbed it down to a next level. So here you see it. We close below it. That next candle is just clearly red. Now, okay, then people say, yes, but now it is in hindsight. Okay, now, let's do it again. Because I can simply do this on the whole chart, because this is simply how price works. Because people buy based on the closes and the opens of those days. So, here again. What did we get? You were able to sell above this open again. You should understand this logic by now, I think. Oh, that's not the right one. I need this one. Fucking annoying. This one. Yeah, like this. And here, what do you see? We close below. We get back into here where you have the ability to sell it towards the downside. I'm not making this up. This shit is really this simple when you just dumb it down. Because let's do this on a lower time frame. I'll go onto the 1 hour even for you guys. But this logic works the best on the daily, weekly, and monthly charts, just so you guys know, because this is quite simply candlestick analysis, where you watch how this candle, here it gets engulfed, what happens? Boom, next candle's green. So, how fucking hard? Okay, now, what happened on that next candle? Unable to push above. What do you get first? A little bit of downside on those next candles. And where were you able to sell again? Let's look at it from the dumbest perspective possible. Of course, right above that body of this candle. I simply can't make it up. But here as well, you see how these levels get respected, just simply based on the high or the low, body based and wick based from the candlesticks. And if you just start doing this, when you do it for a while, you will just automatically see, okay, yeah, this one retested the high of this. Quite simply. But to learn the pattern recognition, you need to draw the pattern, and later you start to understand, like, oh, look what we got here. Went into this massive candle while retesting this previous high. I can't make it simpler than this, guys, but I'll try to put a little example in there as well. I really do prefer to do this on the daily, so I will right here, this point again, and this point again. And you do have to think, normally we wait for the daily close to have happened, so you are watching this candle on the first 5 minutes of that day. So you have the clear ability to either short from the highs back to the lows, or have the opportunity to buy the lows back to the high. So this is the concept that I wanted to explain to you guys. And if we look at it on the lower time frame, where's that daily close again? Right here. You again see you start to form some weakening pattern on that daily open, where we have a clear resistance being built right after that open. And here we see it. 1, 2, and 3, and we fall down lower. So this is the example that I had to show you guys, because this is simply how I learned to read candlesticks at the beginning, and then at a certain point you just see, like, okay, it has closed below this body, so it should pretty much move more towards the downside, or I should buy this low to sell it right around here later on the day. This is how I analyze candlesticks, and this is the easiest way that I can explain this. There again we see this massive candle. Where does it stop? You see it? It's right at that body of the previous candle. So, without more yapping, I think this was explained quite well. If you guys have any other questions or any other things that are vague about this, or you don't properly understand, make sure to either hit me up on Twitter or just shoot a comment down below. And with that having said, guys, have a nice day and keep trading.